It feels as though you are outnumbered, but they have to stifle people to make you feel that way. They have to make people afraid to speak out, to make you feel alone. If they didn't use the strong-arm Marxist tactics of bullying, you wouldn't feel alone. Do you know that Facebook actually changed the status of BLM at the very beginning? It wasn't trending. And so activists bullied them into it. And they got them to artificially insert BLM into trending, even though it wasn't. So you're not alone. But it feels like it, doesn't it? Yesterday, I spoke to people who felt alone. And last night, I got an email in from a woman named Kelly. She said, I may have watched a previously recorded show just now, I don't know, but the message I heard was so strong I had to reach out. Glenn discussed hopelessness, suicide, and the death of his mother as a kid. I don't really know this guy, nor do I regularly watch the Glenn Beck program. However, what he said about feeling like one is already dead but somehow still just breathing and walking, it struck a chord with me. A year of what could be described as mild medical torture and the loss of our rights and our normal lives is taking its toll. And I know I'm not alone. But what Glenn said today actually gave me strength. I cried while he spoke. But immediately after I fixed my face, I decided that I am going to stand and I am going to fight. I'm going to fight for myself, for my husband, for our pets, for anybody who is out there feeling this type of despair. I'll fight in the memory of my uncle who died of suicide when I was 13. Thank you so much for the incredible message and putting your heart on the sleeve on a broadcast that somehow or another I was able to watch at the very moment in time I needed it. Thanks. The fight's not over. Thanks, Kelly. Nathan stuck out in the email that I read yesterday. He wrote in, he said, I've been listening to for years, but the last 2 years I've listened almost every day. And I can tell lately you're struggling and are afraid. Let me just stop here for a second. I think Yoda said it right. When Luke looked at him and said, I'm not afraid. And Yoda said, you will be. You will be. I'm not afraid because fear, I know, comes from the dark side. But I have a healthy understanding of what we are facing. And what you're hearing is not fear. What you're hearing is, quite honestly, defeat at the same time as determination. I realize now that we have passed all of those exits. If you've listened to me for a long time, I told you there would come a time when we passed all the exits and the bridge would be out. We are now at that Doc Brown, Marty McFly moment of, I don't know if we're going to make it to 88 miles an hour. And I have questioned, how could I have done things differently? And how can I do things differently now to not repeat the Obama year? I mean, when Obama was president, we fought a certain way. And then the left fought the same way, except really dirty. And now we're in the opposition place again. And how are we going to open up hearts? How are we going to open up minds? And we are facing now the very real likelihood that our voices are going to be suppressed, because they already are. But I am not afraid, because I know I am not alone. And that's what he writes. I want you to know 2 things. You're not alone. Millions of people are right there beside you. I'm one of them. I want you to know if you ever need anything, I'll be there. The second message is, I've been thinking about this week when you shared your experience with the powers of darkness during a dream. It's something we don't talk openly about in our church, but I've struggled with those experiences my whole life. But there is not growth without opposition, and there is a lot of opposition right now. It means we're all growing right now. God will not let the powers of darkness gathered against you or me be more than we can handle. It's not going to be easy. I'm praying for you, and I'm going to add your name to the prayer rolls. Stay strong. Strong, not hard. Strong bends, hard breaks. Nathan, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. We are being taught. I am a stronger man today than I was 10 years ago. I'm a stronger man today, certainly, than I was 20, 25 years ago. I know what I believe. I know who I am. I know what I'm willing to fight for and what I'm not willing to fight for. And most importantly, at this point in my life, I truly know what's important. And the only thing that is important is my faith and my family. And I include you in my family. We're all brothers and sisters. And I don't care what you believe. I really don't. We've had some struggles in our home in the last few days, and it's been really difficult. But I know what's worth standing up for. I know what is true. And I know what's true about my children. I know who they are, whether they want to admit it or not. I am married to an amazing woman. I have amazing children. Hannah's the only one that has been married, and she picked just the perfect guy. I am so grateful. This is the problem with our society right now. We have it better than any time ever in the history of all mankind, and yet we complain. If I would go back at any time, I go back to 1950, 1970, 1870, 1683, the year 30, and I would explain half of what we have. I would tell anybody, I would tell the kings of what the average person has in America. Even I could go back and talk to the kings of the past and describe what the poorest among us have. And they would think they were surrounded by great riches. And yet, we fail to see the things that are good. And we're failing because we don't know our own history. And we have people that have come in, and friends, family, educators, media, that have slowly just chipped away at our belief that things are good and things are going to be better tomorrow. That we're about to lose everything, including our souls. Let's stay united in spirit and in principle. Don't let your neighbor or your friend or your family give up or give in. Faith precedes the miracle. But we have to be bold enough to advertise the miracle, to hold on to hope, to hold on to each other, to hold on to our history and our traditions, bind generations together. We have to gather and celebrate the light and get in touch with the wonder of our past, the preciousness of the present, and the glory of our future.